Lucas, you walked into this interview, you've said you're so tired. That was a shift, but so deserved for West Ham.
Yeah, I played there against Newcastle so hard. You do very well. You need to keep in this way.
What was the difference tonight in this team? We saw a lot of confidence amongst the players, confidence that perhaps we haven't seen this season.
So we work a lot in the week. You need to play again like a team. And now today you did this. And for me, I think it's the best thing you can do.
We were talking to the captain, Jarrod Bowen, before the game. He was talking about Julen Lopetegui being a driving force, new ideas with the ball. There was a real togetherness, willingness amongst the players to do well for him.
Yeah, of course, it's a new idea. You try to put in the pitch all the thing, and the coach asked it to us. And today, I think you did it.
And the players you would see on that performance supporting him as well.
Yeah, I need to keep in this way. Of course, we need to keep confidence for the next match, and now you need to recover and work a lot.
Next match against Arsenal. How much momentum can you take from this win tonight into that game at the weekend?
I think the same mentality and personality. Yeah, just this.
Well, for you, I know you're tired. I know you probably want to go home as well. But you are player of the match tonight against Newcastle, so congratulations. If you want to take that off me, thank you.
Thank you. This is for my team. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks for his team, and they all seem to be pretty behind the manager and these new ideas.
Yeah, he said we worked on the pitch. I was just wondering when they would have had time to do that, because most of their players are away on international duty. But I think the manager has stressed what he wants, and he's tried to work with what the players that were left behind. But he spoke about more effort, more determination, and that's what they had tonight. Like I said, early part of the game, probably let a few chances go down the left-hand side. But as soon as they got the goal, I thought they defended really well. Didn't really give Newcastle any chances in the second half. Everything that Newcastle created, it was a fight to get there. And so I thought the game plan worked. They worked hard, and as he said, he's tired. He's travelled, but he's back and he's tired because they played a role and they gave it their all tonight.
Yeah, and they just seem to be a little more organised. Those ideas, the new ones, just seem to be a little bit more understood tonight.
Yeah, I mean, and they've had a couple more days, haven't they, than a lot of teams playing. Playing on the Monday night, some people complain about it, but sometimes if you come back from international duty, it just gives you an extra couple of days just to find your feet again, maybe, a bit of jet lag. Certainly for people that are travelling back from South America, that can be a problem. So it might have been a benefit playing on a Monday after an international break. They certainly looked like that today. They certainly looked like a team that knew what they were doing. To be honest, I've never watched West Ham and thought, oh, wow, they just haven't got a clue. I mean, yes, they're not picking up the results that they should be, or that the team warrants, but they're not playing horrifically well, horrifically badly and getting beaten 5-0 every week. So I think it is a little bit of tweaking, a little bit of just getting to know, because a lot of these managers as well, they do need a little bit of time to get their points across. Now, it's not been a great start for the manager, but this is a big result. Going up to Newcastle is not an easy thing to do and to get a win. So this could be a catalyst for their season. Because as I say, looking at their players, no one can tell me that they shouldn't be a top half team with the quality that they've got.
And when you've got that group of players and a new manager and you get a result of this magnitude, what does that do to belief within the group to think, we can put that plan in place and go to somewhere like Newcastle and win?
I think that going to Newcastle and winning, when you look at the results Newcastle have had at home, and they don't lose many games. Only one other team has beaten them in the last 14. So going there, tough. We all said it was going to be tough because of the atmosphere as well. And they've gone in, they've put in a good shift, and that just gives you a bit of a boost. I think they play Arsenal at the weekend, another London derby. They'll be coming back feeling buoyed by what they did tonight, and that's where your confidence grows, from winning games and keeping a clean sheet.
I was just about to say, I think the keeping a clean sheet is so important for them tonight. Yeah. I mean, they know they can score. They've got players that can score. Jarrod Bowen's, has been brilliant for the last few years. They've got attacking players that can score. They can score off set pieces. It's unbelievable how that's their first corner, goal from a corner today, because Souček's one of the most dangerous players from set pieces. goal scoring shouldn't be their problem. Keeping a clean sheet up at Newcastle with someone like Isak playing up top, and with other players like Gordon and players like that playing, that's a good achievement. That's really good. And now that they can take that forward and as I say, take it into the next games.
And as you say, first time they scored from a corner, but you were both in agreement for the first goal that Newcastle should have done better for this.
Yeah, it feels it's an out-swinging corner, and Souček, you see him here, doesn't really do. He takes one step inside and loses. I think it's Kelly that's marking him. Just loses him. Look, just one step inside and just goes round the back, comes back in front, and it's an easy header, no pressure. Now Kelly's got to do much better. He's got to get touch tight. Don't allow him to have that free header because he's the best header of the ball in the team.
Yeah, I mean, I get this zonal marking. We see it with most teams now. It's not new anymore. I just wonder, though, when you're putting your best headers of the ball across that 6-yard box, they're all the big men across the 6-yard box, right on the line. And then you have your smaller players that just block the big ones, basically. Don't let them get a head of steam. So, on an out-swinging corner, I just can't believe that you're basically negating all your best headers of the ball, because the ball is never going to land in the 6-yard box on an out-swinging corner. That's as close as it can be to the goal where it landed there, about 10 yards out. So I just think that you've either got to switch them around or you've got to stagger them. So go from the start of the 6-yard box and stagger it diagonally out of the box slightly, or something. But you've got to get your big players heading the ball or challenging for the ball, because nobody was challenging Souček. He had a free run. The blockers didn't really do their job, and he had a free header. Nobody on the post either. So, it will be disappointing. And that's Newcastle's first goal they conceded from a corner. So, but I'm sure they'll still have a bit of an inquest.
When you play against zonal marking, that is the perfect ball into the box, because everyone, all the best headers of the ball are going to be on that 6-yard. That gives you the opportunity in that gap between the 6-yard box and the penalty spot. That's exactly where he plays it.
Yeah, because there's 4 against 3 anyway. Exactly. There's only 3 blockers. So they're only there. They're only there, obviously, to slow the run down. There's 1 or 2 grabbing there. You've got to be a bit careful. But it's 3 against 4 anyway. So you're always going to have 1 free man. And you can't let their best header of the ball, from 8 yards out.
That's the part Eddie Howe will be fuming about, the fact that the best header of the ball has got a free run and a free header at goal.
Yeah. Newcastle without suspended Dan Burn, 6'7", of course.
That helps, doesn't it? Yeah, 6'7" in the middle of the box. That helps.
That just seemed to disrupt Newcastle after that early positive start that you alluded to.
Yeah, just they never really found their feet again. Although they had a few attacks, they only had 2 shots. They had 10 opportunities and 2 on target. So it just goes to show how well West Ham defended, and they just lost their flow, lost their momentum, and West Ham came into the game from there.
Yeah. They had a little flurry at the start of the second half, and then 8 minutes into it, they were 2 down through Aaron Wan-Bissaka. They originally had the ball, though.
They did, and Les spotted something here in the game as well. We'll take it back shortly. But, it was good play from Paquetá. He won the second ball. Lovely first touch, and I thought, no, you can't shoot from there. You're never going to score. There was literally one area he could shoot. But you spotted this in the build-up, Les.
Yeah, it was just I saw Julen, and he's with Souček there, and he keeps bugging Souček. So Souček runs him inside. West Ham keep the ball, and then now watch Souček. He runs off Julen, wins this first header, and this is where the goal comes from. And look at Joelinton.
His man's now Wan-Bissaka,
He's
isn't he?
He
lets him run as well.
He looks at him, lets him run, and he's the one that scores the goal. Now, if you're... One thing you have to do is match... Whoever you play against, you've got to match their enthusiasm and their abilities to run. Don't matter how good you are. You match them, and then what you're hoping is your quality comes out on top. That just shows a little bit of lack of respect for West Ham, him doing that. It's almost like, well, they're not going to score. So he lets him run, and unfortunately they've lost the game 2-0 because of his actions.
It's bad enough letting one runner, isn't it? And then you think, ooh, I let that could have bit me in the backside, and then all of a sudden the next person comes alongside you and let him run as well. It's not a good look, really, especially for a player that has done so well in recent times. His hard work, his quality, everything about him has been very good. But that was a lack of team ethic, I think, or teamwork, or I think he's let his team down there twice. Letting a runner go is not ideal. And if I was the manager, I'd be pulling them aside and saying, listen, you've got to match your runs. You know, the first one is unforgivable in the first place. To do it again seconds later, you can't do that. That's cost us a second goal and cost us the match ultimately.
And Wan-Bissaka's only ever scored 3 Premier League goals, 2 of them at St James's Park. And that was a collector's item.
Yes, you know, he obviously likes going there, and as you said, once he got into the box, Michael said, he can't score from there, but, you know, he took the chance, goes across the goalkeeper and wins his team the game.
Penalty shout for Callum Wilson, who came off the bench. What do we think here, centre-forward Union?
Yes, definitely penalty shout. I thought it was a penalty, Steve.
So it should have been given on field, but then what? Do you think it's a
so.
clear and obvious?
Oh, that's then the debate, isn't it? And then I suppose if it is a debate, then no, I'm not screaming and shouting at VAR.
Well,
I think that's a penalty. I think he's grabbed him enough to prevent him from jumping and potentially heading the ball.
I think if he doesn't grab him, Wilson heads that ball in the back of the net.
Yeah.
You know, he's all over him, and I can understand a little bit of contact, but his arm's wrapped around him.
Well, in that case, if you think that, and there's no doubt it should have gone to VAR then, and, well, it did go to VAR.
Yeah.
VAR checked it, and they thought not. But if you think he would have scored it, it should have gone to VAR. I thought it was a penalty as well. I just wasn't 100% sure that he would have got onto it and headed it in. But if that's the case, and if Les, you know, thinks that, then I think they probably should have.
Because that might have just given them a little bit ray of hope at that point, mightn't it?
Yeah.
From the penalty spot.
Certainly would have done, and you look at that and you think, I think if he's allowed to jump, he gets up high. It doesn't look that he gets up because he's wrapped around him. And he doesn't get the opportunity to jump, and he only doesn't get the opportunity because his arms are wrapped around him and he's all over him. So that's why I would say that was being in that position myself. I think 100%.
And really, I know we say, you can't be in any doubt for the referee or for VAR to then reverse it and say penalty, but really, if he's not been given the opportunity, surely then you have to go side with the attacking player there. You can't just prevent someone from jumping and then say, we're not sure whether he would have got it or not. Well, hang on a minute. You know, you've got to then favour the attacker because he's the one that's been fouled. And if we're not sure that he would have got it or not, then I would side with the attacker because he's been prevented from us finding out for good. So, yeah, I thought that was a penalty.
But either or, I mean, Newcastle were looking for little straws of comfort there. West Ham deserved to win this game. They were the better team. Yeah,
over the 90 minutes, but you would have to say that, you know, Newcastle didn't do enough to win the game. And, you know, Isak had a shot at the end, with a left-footed shot, which, you know, Michael Bridges said summed up the game for me. Never really made no contact, wasn't pure. And that's how Newcastle were today. They were stuttering, you were on the edge of your seat going, come on. Never quite got there.
So it ends up being a big lift and a big win for the West Ham manager, Julen Lopetegui.
Julen, congratulations. How big a win is that?
Thank you. Yes, we are happy. It's always a big win to win away or to win at home in Premier League. But against the one team has Newcastle, a very tough stadium, tough match, a very good player, good manager. And okay, we are happy because we need to have one kind of match as today. But we are happy. But okay, 3 points more, and we have to look forward.
How important was your start to get Thomas Souček's header very early on, seemed to settle the team?
In all the matches, it's important. All the moments, there are key moments. Was important to start. This one stadium when they push a lot in the first minutes, and I think that we have been with personality in our start. And fortunately, we score one goal. Always is good. We suffer. They have chances to draw in the first half, 2 or 3. But I think that we keep personality, and the second half, I think that we deserve to win. Sometimes you win, you don't deserve. I think today, to be honest, I think that we deserve these 3 points. We are happy for the players. I am happy for the fans, more than 3,000 here, very so far of London. So we are happy above all for them. We can't the possibility to give them a lot of good days. Unfortunately, we are going to work hard. Because they have more days as today, because they deserve. We work for them, and we are happy. And above all for the players, because I think that, okay, we need to find one identity as a team, and you are trying to find this as is important. But we have to look forward and to prepare the next match very well and to work hard.
You talk about looking forward. How important is it? obvious thing to say, but to build on this now, you, the players, the club, to put what has been a difficult spell behind you?
Always is important, the time, and always is important to try to give one different identity. It's not better or worse, it's different, and trying to put always the team behind the players, always the team, working for the team, trying to give the best of each player to the team. Okay, today we did. Unfortunately, we won, so we are happy for them, but I repeat, there are 3 points. We have to keep going and to look forward for the next challenge. They are going to be very tough too. Each match in Premier League is one adventure, and we have to be ready.
And football is a game of emotion. You've had lots of questions thrown your way about your future. Did this win mean a little bit more to you because of all the questions that came your way?
All the coaches, we have this kind of life. We have to get used to work with this kind of situation, but always believing in our work, in us, and in the players. The more important thing, we believe in the players. We know they are not going to be easy for no one team in the Premier League. I think that we have a lot of points to win until the last decision. Has a lot of teams, but above all, for me, the more important thing is to be able to be one team and to achieve one kind of identity to overcome and to increase as a team.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, huge win. Arsenal at the weekend at the London Stadium. And then, Michael, May they feel they've got a run of fixtures where they can get some of this consistency they're searching for?
Yeah, they will. It's funny, though, isn't it? We say, they need to be consistent, and then all of a sudden you look at the next 6 and it's Arsenal next. I mean, how can you be consistent in this Premier League? It's so difficult. You're playing against great teams virtually every week. But yes, you're right. Get that Arsenal game out the way. If they can pick something up from that, then great. And then it's a little bit calmer waters after that.
All smiles for Julen Lopetegui. Not a good night for Newcastle and their manager, Eddie Howe.
Eddie, you spoke before the match and you said you were expecting a difficult night against West Ham. But did that take you by surprise?
I don't think anything takes me by surprise in the Premier League. I think we know every team's got qualities. I felt the goals changed the game today. I think the first goal, especially so early, made it difficult for us, but I thought we responded really well. I thought we were the dominant team going in at half-time. The game could have been very different if we'd taken one of those chances in that first half. Then they score again in the second half. I don't think we responded well to that goal. I think then we lost a bit of confidence and became a bit ragged at the end.
You started each half, though, so brightly and had so much possession and so much control, but it just seemed to ebb away from you.
Yeah, it did, and I think I'm pretty pleased with the first 60 minutes, albeit we're losing the game 2-0. I think there was a lot of good play from us. We did open them up and had chances to score. Unfortunately, goals will always change the perception of everybody, but up until that point I was pretty pleased. The last half an hour I didn't like us at all. I thought we lost our way a little bit, became a bit too desperate to score and made some bad decisions with the ball, but certainly a game that we'll rue, I think, when we watch it back.
What about those goals then that you conceded? The corner, Souček having that opportunity, and you don't really leave him on mark, do you? And then the second goal that West Ham scored, it just seemed to time stood still.
Yeah, I think for both goals we'll look back and know we made individual mistakes. We can't give a player Souček's aerial ability that space in the box. Disappointing from our perspective, having started the game so well and put them under intense pressure at the start of the match, and then the second goal, as you say, too easy. We let them come inside with the pass, and very uncharacteristic from us, really, because we've defended well in recent weeks.
When you say that you lost confidence in the second half, you're not a team that loses confidence a lot, are you?
Well, I think it was linked to, we got a couple of injuries, and then the team at the end, we had players playing out of position, so I didn't like the look of us in the final stages of the match. And as I say, I think it was just out of desperation to score. We made some bad decisions with the ball, and then ultimately ended up losing control of the game. But as I say, up until that 60-minute mark, I was pretty pleased. I thought that we looked the dominant team, and on another day we could have won.
You have no complaints at all with the decisions that were made as well, with the VAR, the two decisions that kind of went against you?
Well, are you talking about the penalty?
The penalty and the goal was ruled out in the first half.
For Callum's penalty, I thought was a tight call, but I'd need to see it again. That's only an instant sort of reaction from me. The offside goal I actually thought looked really tight. I was expecting it to take longer and hopefully drop in our favour, but it didn't, so we have to accept it.
And how do they rediscover the momentum they had before the international break? They've got Palace away next.
Yeah, and that's getting back on the horse. Today's performance weren't good enough. Like he said first, when he said after the first goal they reacted well, I had to think, did they react well? And I suppose they did, because they had a few chances. Anthony Gordon we spoke about the one where he should have chipped over the goalkeeper with a chest. So they did keep the momentum going, just weren't able to get that goal. Second half, I didn't think they were that good. I didn't really think 60 minutes, I'd have probably given them a little bit less than that. In terms of, I thought West Ham looked really, really comfortable and at times played their way out, played some nice football. Newcastle lost their way. But they just need to get back on. They know they're a good side, and they'll be disappointed that they're not sitting in 6th place tonight, because they would have looked at that game and thought, jump there and then see where we could go from there. So
missed opportunity.
Yeah, it is, but ups and downs of the Premier League. It's a long season. It's exactly what happens. They'll be back, and they're still a good team.
OK, thank you very much both for your company tonight. It's West Ham's night.
There have been rumblings at West Ham just a week ago. With this unexpected win and clean sheet, away at Newcastle, they are now 6 points clear of the relegation zone. The new manager, Julen Lopetegui, had been brought in this season in a bid to improve upon David Moyes' pragmatic style of play, which saw them in 9th position in the Premier League last season and reached the quarter-finals of the Europa League. Despite spending in the region of £125 million, they are now actually worst off on table position at 14th, points per game, goals scored and conceded, from Moyes last year. After being battered out by Nottingham Forest 3-0 with a red card on 2nd November, some fans had started to turn on him. However, the fact that we have more than 2/3 of games yet to be played, there is ample time for them to catch up and see if they can improve their performances from previous season. Newcastle United have been hot and cold in matches this season. They had a frustrating start to the season. Then the Magpies had beaten brilliant Chelsea, title challengers Arsenal and then Nottingham Forest in a row leading to this match. Then they get beaten 2-0 by an out-of-sorts West Ham side today. So far they have 5 wins, 3 draws and 4 losses this season, standing at the 10th position in the Premier League. Despite having a brilliant young promising manager in Howe, they are yet to match their superb 2022-23 season where they are 4th in the league. They are 7th last season and are currently sitting at 10th position, although just 4 points shy of 3rd position. You could say they have been hamstrung by woeful injuries this season. But so are most of the teams in the league this season. They will need to improve their consistency if they are to fulfill their ambitions. The encouraging thing is that there is plenty of time to make a course correction with 26 games remaining this Premier League season.